back, guys. I'm Brad. This is my shop. Today's video is going to be a small lathe project. In a previous video I showed you a machinist vise that Stan sent me, and it needs a hemispherical washer and it needs a yoke. So we're gonna make those two pieces today and try to get the vise back in order so we can use it with the surface grinder. So let me show you what we got going on so far. I began by measuring this this cutout right here, this gouged out section, this concave section, and I busted out the radius gauges. And what I did was I found that 3/8 fits pretty nice. You know, we got good pivot, got pretty decent contact, although the 3/8 is slightly bigger. So then I tried 11/32, and that gives me a lot more contact, right? Because it's smaller. The bowl is a little smaller, and it kind of sits deeper in there and makes more contact and spins freely. So I figured, what the hell? I'll split the difference. So 3/8 being the bigger one is 375. 11/32 is 343 and 7/10. So I'm just rounding that up to 344. I do a little bit of math here, a little subtraction, and I get 31 thousandths difference. So I split that in half to 15.5. So I'm rounding that up to 16 thousandths. Add that to the smaller diameter of 343, and I come up with about 360. So we're gonna mount our stock in the lathe. And in essence, I'm basically going to just file it and round it off. So let's go over to the lathe and check it out. No lathe job is complete without a good honing of the tool. So I just used the carborundum stone and got this puppy really sharp. You could see that. With a 360 thousandths radius, the diameter is going to be 720. So I'm going to just take a quick initial measurement here. I'm measuring back here because I'll hit the camera if I go around the other side, so you might not see it. Alright, we're at yeah, this is 7/8 material, so 875. So we got to take 155 thousandths off. Nice chip. It's all coming off in one continuous chip. I'll save it for the camera. Now I'm taking off, I'm going a considerable distance in, so I have plenty of room to work and file this down and then part it off. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move the compound and I'm going to take a series of angle cuts to kind of pre-shape this. Actually, before I do that, I have to drill a 5/16 hole. That will allow, it's the through hole for the bolt. So let me do that first. That's deep enough now. What I did was I moved my compound to 22.5 degrees because there's going to be it's going to require 4 movements to produce 3 different angles. And what I'm trying to do is just kind of make 3 different angles to kind of pre-shape this so I'm not filing forever. I think that's how we got to do it. So, not, you know, obviously 90 degrees divided by 4 is 22.5. So we're going to give it a shot. We're going to see how she goes. pier mix glasses, the Coke bottles. At least I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to turn our power feed off, and we're going to get this thing, jack the speed up. I'll be here all day. Not bad, we're getting close. I want to protect those ways that I spend so much time cleaning up. Let's get a deburring here. Noga hand deburrer. Works beautiful. Alright. Let's get this out of here. Something like that. Lost it anyway. Fell down anyway. You sucker, you. Luckily my chip tray is not dirty. That was easily spotted. Alright. Hemispherical washer. I'm going to sand this down by hand. I'm going to deburr it and take this Sharpie marker off here, and then we'll show you what it looks like. Well, here it is, and we have a nice big gouge. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a little bit of an arbor, a press fit arbor. I'm going to press this on, and I'm going to take a facing cut because I don't like that. The rest of it looks real nice, except that, so that's ugly. Let's fix that. Alright, we're going to turn this down for a press fit. 5/16 press fit, so great. Great. I don't know what kind of material this is, but it's really it's turning nice. I'm getting a little bit of chatter and squeak, but it's coming out like a mirror. I like this metal, whatever it is. Alright, 314 I saw. I'm going to just give it a little bit of a file here. For a little makeshift press fit here, just so we can take a facing operation here. I'm going to press this in the arbor press really quick. Well, our press fit worked, and we're going to just take the slightest little facing cut. Let's hope it doesn't slip. Just enough. All right. I'm going to jack this up to full speed so we get a nice finishing cut. Here we go. That looks good. And that's it. That's all she wrote. Let me press it out. There we go. Hemispherical washer. Done. Let's take a little burp. Beautiful. Works perfect. Maybe I'll go into business making hemispherical washers. Next thing is to make the yoke for the main part of the vise. We're going to begin by using this lump of 1045 I have laying around. I know this isn't the greatest hardening steel. I don't have any tool steel on hand, but this can be hardened. And I probably will have this piece hardened once all is said and done. For these heavy Hagen cuts, I'm going to use the anchor lube here. No smoke. Notice the chips. Big, long, 5-6 foot long chip. It's probably worth mentioning that you could see these chips here, and they're purple. This was a good speed and feed. I mean, it was a nice continuous curly chip, but it's very long, very long. You could see this thing's probably 5-6 feet long. It's a good idea to stop your machine and get all that crap out of there, because I've had it happen to me where one chip would catch and pull up all the chips out of your chip pan, and I just heard a good story the other day from my buddy Stan. He was telling me the same thing happened to him, and it was mayhem. So you want to clear your chips as much as possible. There's a rough finish right there. Very rough. I don't know if you could see that though. Camera. The south bend is, the accuracy on this is pretty cool. Alright, we got 75 thousandths more to go. I'm going to divide this into 2 cuts and a little bit faster RPM. Alright. throw our feet down. We'll do a 50 and then a 25. And I'm using oil on this finished cup. Sorry, anchor lube. All right, final pass. While I have it chucked, we're going to drill and tap. Here. This is going to be the front of the yoke, and obviously that's the back, but I need a quarter, and then I need the 5/16 hole, and then I need another quarter buffer. So quarter is half, 5/16, 3/12, we got 8/12. 8/12 from the overall 1.5 is 688. So and for this point I want to go a little bit more, so 20-30 thousandths more should get me right in the ballpark. So I'll drill it to about 700. Maybe even 3/4. Yeah, I think 3/4 will be fine. So using my tailstock, first I want to So I'm going to position this. I'm binding the tailstock quill at 1 inch, and then I'm going to move this in until it gets right to the main part of the flute. I'll lock it in. Now I know that all I have to do is go to 1 3/4 and I'm good. Ultra high tech going on here. There we are. All right, ready for tapping. A lot of chips packed in there. All right, now we're going to use our bottoming tap. Let's give it one more run and see if we could get any more distance out of it. That's it. I do not want to break this. You know, before I cut this, I am going to polish this because I don't like the way this finish came out. It's terrible. So, we're going to polish it up a little bit, make it look nice. Before we do any milling, all right, because we need to mill 2 flats on this piece here, but before we do any milling, I have to retram this head. When I was making the holder for the diamond dresser, I tilted this head and I haven't retrammed it, so we're going to do that right now. Now I'm going to get this in the ballpark using a square here. Sheesh, that's pretty bad. Let me get my flashlight. See that? We could see daylight, so we gotta get it back in alignment. Just want to keep these somewhat hand snugged. That's pretty good. Now we're going to use an indicator now. Alright, we got it trammed in. That was a lot of work. A lot of up and down, a lot of up and down. Makes me want to get a power Z-axis. Alright, we got our piece mounted in the spindexer. We're going to find center now. Alright. 295. I established that center because I'm going to have to drill a hole. What just happened? Looks like my center finder came apart. Well, it unscrewed. I was able to get my mark though. So with that, let's move our 100,000s. Let's remove the now deceased center finder. That's a bummer, man. That is a bummer. Alright, back to business. We have a 1/2 inch end mill, 4 flute end mill, that we're going to use to do the deed here. Alright, we're ready to go. I fed in 25 thousandths and just take a quick little pass. Alright, we're back to our 0 now. Time to flip this 180. This is going to be a drill and ream operation, and I'm going to have to bring my table almost on the floor. Let me get the reamer. Now I'm just putting this in here to get the depth set. Good God. Well, the spindexer was moving. I flipped it around in the chuck to clamp on the machined edges, re-established center. Now we're going to try this again. Going very easy. I don't want to slam through and take a bite out of my vise. All right. There you have it. What I'm going to try to do now is curve this out. I've turned my compound now to 45 degrees, and I'm just kind of taking a cut to help shape the rounded edge. Alright, the moment of truth. Alright, well, I've assembled it, and looks like we have a good amount of range here. So it taps out just before center of this index, but it will go to that portion. Now let's see how far it will go before the screw lets out. Well past it. Alright, I'd say that was a success. My thanks goes out to Stan for sending this to me. I appreciate it, buddy. And we'll give you guys one last look at the pieces made. There they are. The yoke. And the hemispherical washer. Now granted, I definitely could have done a better job on this stuff. This doesn't really look all that much like a true radius. It's got a weird profile, but it goes in and you know, it does its job. See? floats around there. You know, I was going to mount this on a little arbor on the dividing head and turn it and mill it to make it perfect, but I don't know. I just took a 45 cut and rounded it over. And I do want to see how that plays out here. Yeah, it's well below. So my calculations were correct. It won't hit. Is it hitting? No. No, you got about a, I'd say maybe a 64th of an inch clearance. That's all you need. So let's clamp something in this. All right, we got our index set. Here, I'll just put this piece right in here. Oh, you know what? Let me do it like this. Let's pretend I'm grinding this at an angle. Tighten it down. Cool. Holds it tight. Let's clamp it in the next slot in. Alright, so let's pretend I'm grinding this on my surface grinder. Here, I'm going to grind these parallels flat. These little makeshift parallels. Tighten her down. And there she goes with all the rest of the setup and inspection equipment. Well, that's it for this one, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. This was fun to make these little parts, and just wanted to say thanks again, Stan. Appreciate the vise. I'll put it to good use, my friend. I really will, and grind up some parts, make some more videos. Another tool saved. That's it. Until the next one. Thanks. Appreciate it.